Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be taking the newly EZA'd Yamu and Spopavich into an event and doing a showcase. I do have to say, you know, even before they were EZA, they were a decent free to play option, you know. Attack and defense plus 70%, key plus 2, plus an additional attack additional attack plus 20% for each super attack performed, plus an additional defense plus 20% for each attack received, up to 140%. Then after EZAing on super attack, they now cause supreme damage to an enemy, lowers attack and defense for 20% for 3 turns, recovers 70% HP, which that part of the super attack recovering HP they'd done before. They also lower attack and defense, which is pretty good for ESBR. Passive, they now do attack and defense plus 90%, key plus 2 plus an additional attack plus 20%, each super attack performed, plus an additional defense plus 20% of each attack received, this time up to 160%. Disables enemies guard when attacking super class enemies. Yeah, they were solid even before they got EZA'd, and now they're just a bit better. Yeah. So in terms of taking them, I mean, I'm going to be taking them on a Terrifying Conquerors team, just because that's one of the biggest boosts of the 170 with the cooler. We're going to try, I haven't brought the other cooler because I'm trying to avoid super attacks with cooler, otherwise he's going to absolutely just melt through the stage we're going to do, because most of them are Saiyans anyway. But yeah, we're going to run them on rotation essentially with the Spopavich before you actually Dokkan Awaken them, because they're links. You know, if you take a look at them, Brutal Beatdown, Evil Auto Cracks, Demonic Power, Berserker, Tough as Nails, Coward, Channel Limit. They are the best links. Like, they have a few okay links where they link to people like, you know, Broly's, Boos, etc. Some freezers. You know, Shatter the Limit isn't too bad of a link, but it's a key link. You know, but to really get all their kind of link skills off, I mean, there isn't really a unit that links that well with them. You have to link them with 2, and then you have to kind of force it to happen. But yeah, we're going to be taking the Dokkan Awakened Spopavich to make sure they get the majority of their links off. And then of course we've got the Turles here as well for a support and rotation with a key plus 3, attack plus 40%. And then also Dabura as well, just because I've barely used him. He's actually not a bad unit, and I've barely used him. I'm going to take him as well. Also gives Margin Boo Saga category extreme class allies key plus 2 and attack and defense plus 30%. So, you know, with their passive, of course, the immediate 90% isn't too bad on the attack and defense, but up to 160% is pretty good. So yeah, of course, we're gonna have to keep performing super attacks, and we're gonna have to keep receiving attacks. So yes, they don't start immediately with insane stats, but you have to build them up, which is why I'm gonna say for Legendary Goku event, these two should work really well. When you get to the full Patch Day 4 stage, probably a bit risky with that type disadvantage even while built up. The SBR, they'll probably do okay, but it's that, of course, part of their passive. You have to build them up first between each kind of stage or phase, which will probably kind of hurt them a bit in the SBR. But I reckon for Legendary Goku event, they'll work really well, because you can build them up. It's just that final stage would have time disadvantage is a bit scary. But in terms of their categories, before we do get into it, they're also on the World Tournament category. Margin Boo Saga, which, I mean, if you're running an extreme Margin Boo Saga team, maybe not a bad choice to run, especially if you're going LGE. Join forces, Terrifying Conquerors, of course, Earthlings, and Corroded Body and Mind. So a pretty solid free-to-play option. So yeah, that's enough chit-chatting and riff-raffing. Let's take them into an event and see what they can do. So nice, they're on rotation immediately. We've gone into the Goku event with some keys, just because the new Videl event isn't. I don't think it's long enough. I think it's what, 3, maybe 4 phases. There, we're into this. Of course, right now we're gonna have only a few links off, which we actually, I say a few, we literally got one. It's literally Brutal Beatdown. So yeah, Brutal Beatdown, that's the only link we've currently got off. We do have the attack plus 40% off with Turles. We're up to 153k attack stat immediately, which is quite nice. We'll put them up front, of course, to take those attacks, give them those orbs. Fortunately, we can't avoid the super attack with Cooler on this rotation because Turles is here. But at least we'll be taking a few attacks off with Yamu and Spopavich. So immediately, I do remember our attack plus 40% from Turles on the rotation is 1.3 mil immediately. Additional as well, which means we're getting more super attacks off, which is building up their attack. 1.5 milli crit as well. And there's those 2 attacks to build up the defense. One thing I've forgotten immediately, which is just terrible of me. I can't remember if it's attacks or super attacks for attack. One of them is super attack, any attack, and then one of them is purely super attacks. Which one's which? Attack defense plus 9%. Plus an additional attack plus 20% of each super attack performed. Yeah, so any attack received, but you have to do super attacks to build up your attack. That's fine. Let's do this. Give you those. Give you this to avoid the super attack, and give Deborah. Doesn't really matter. We'll give you these. Funny enough, I have barely used the LR Vegeta and Nappa. Funny story about these. I actually got them with coins. I think this is probably my first, or maybe my second. It's either my first or second LR, like not Dokkan Fest LR, just you know, the normal LRs that you get off the you know, the LR banners with terrible rates with gold coins. They're either my first or second, which by the way, I've only bought 1 or 2 LRs with gold coins. So like not summoning on the LR banners a lot. I've only bought 1 or 2 LRs, and they are one of them just because I wanted to have them in the collection, and because it becomes a Vegeta exchange unit, even though you don't see it all too often. I know that not that great, but it is what it is. So we've got the Spopavich on rotation now. So we've got almost all the links off apart from Berserker and Shattering the Limit. So we've got Brutal Beatdown, Evil Autocrats, Demonic Power, Tough as Nails, and Coward all activated right now. Cool is not giving them no links. Yeah, Cool is not giving them no links. I'm going to put them up front. So with no support after doing, what is it? 2 super attacks, receiving 2 attacks. We're already up to a 210k attack stat and 100k defense with almost all the links active barring 2. So we currently have, what is it, 5 links active out of 7. Is it 7? Yeah, maths. So I'll give you all of those. Funny enough, this Spopavich actually has SA 10. He isn't rainbowed though. I couldn't be bothered to do that. Give you them to avoid the super attack, even though this Cool is rainbowed, so we'll probably get an additional. So there's a few attacks. We're probably not going to see obviously the most damage being taken because it is only a Dokkan event. 1.7 million attack stat as well. Another crit, 1.1 million crit. That's not bad. We're being super attacked, so we can kind of see how much damage we're going to be taking here after, what is it, 1 or 2 basics before this. 14k. That's not bad. And you're just purely here to get off links. Nice, cool. Yeah, but yeah, cool. Good for you. There we go. There's the additional I didn't want. At what point do you not want Cool? I mean, he's probably gonna. Pretty sure he's guaranteed to get an additional anyway. But it is what it is. Does anyone on this have Shattering the Limit? These do. And they have Berserk. So we're going to rotate these off to get all of their links off. We'll keep the Turles on rotation for now. Again, can't avoid the super attack with Cooler, but it kind of is what it is. At least we can see on rotation, hopefully, before we beat this event. Hopefully we can see on rotation what they're like. With all links active. No support, but all links active. The next one, we should have the Bora on rotation with Spout. Yeah, there we go. That's the rotation we're looking for. I don't think, does the Bora give them any links? No, he doesn't give them any either, but the Bora's currently supporting with attack and defense plus 30%. So we're up to 277k attack stat, 199k defense. We'll put them up front. They do have type Savage right now, of course. So I'd be interested to see how much damage, or interesting to see how much damage we do take on super attack if Goku does super attack us. It's only double digits. I mean, again, it's only a Dokkan event, so I'm not going to be taking the most. Up to 2.3 million attack stat. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And again, in a longer drawn out event like Legendary Goku event, you should be able to build up that passive, especially if you kind of maybe keep them on rotation in the beginning when, you know, you're not going to be taking that much damage early on in the event. You could probably build them up pretty quickly to the 160% they stack up to. And if it's what, it's 20% per, so 20%, you're looking to do 8 super attacks and taking or receiving 8 attacks. Which, I mean, it's not bad. It is not bad at all. It is pretty good. It is pretty good in my opinion. As I said, in terms of LG, they should do very, very well considering how far you can build them up to. Not only that, I mean, in general, like not only that as well, was kind of a little bit of a bonus, especially with the Great Ape stage or the Great Ape phase of the Legendary GT Goku event is they have type advantage. So it means they probably won't get mollywopped because you're building up their defense anyway. They have type advantage, so they won't take as much damage. And you could do a bit of damage to him anyway, considering that one does more damage than the SSJ4 stage after it. So that's kind of an added bonus. It's just the full Power Stage 4 stage at the end of the type advantage is what's worrying me. I'm going to take them into LG, into Legendary Goku event, the GT one. It just worries me how much damage they will take. So we can get all the links off, apart from Berserk. I could have... Did I read wrong? I think I'm missing something. Does Berserker must have to come off after a different thing, right? 50% HP or less. This is what I mean about also kind of forcing some of the links. Of course, we've had to take the Spopavich, the Dokkan Awakened version of this unit to get majority of the links off on a rotation. And then not only that, to get off the final link, you have to be below 50% HP, which again, you kind of, to do it in this scenario as a showcase in just a Dokkan event, you kind of have to force it, which kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie. We can get one more link off. What does Shattering the Limit give? Shattering the Limit is key +2 in attack and defense +1%. I mean, we've got an extra link off. I would prefer to put them here because then they can constantly receive that, like the damage. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Considering we have type advantage, if we get super attacked, we should be able to get the Berserker link off the second time Vegeta and Nappa do come about. We're getting super attacked, so we're probably going to take a little bit of damage here. We're probably looking at close to 100k, I reckon. 61k, so a bit less. I mean, we're probably fully stacked up now. 2.2 million attack stat as well. We can get an additional here. We can build up the attack stat a little bit. Okay, never mind. They actually done enough damage to beat Goku. Do this. We can't avoid the super, which is a little bit annoying. We can't avoid the super on any of them, which is a little bit annoying. The only thing with Cooler in his passive with Hybrid and Pure Saiyans, but it's one of the highest leads they can be on. I mean, to be fair, we are getting supered, which means we will have our health below 50%, which means we can get the Berserker link off. If we don't get it off, it's not the be-all and end-all. I don't like to force, like, almost unnatural scenarios doing showcases, if that makes sense. Like, I like trying to get as many links off as possible, but if it's kind of where you have to get to the point where you have to force them to get to the most optimal possible rotation they can be on, I tend to not do it, just because when you're using these units, you're not going to always have most optimal situation and scenario while doing ESPR, SBR, Legendary Goku event, Legendary GT Goku event, even Infinite Dragon Ball History. So I don't like to force it. So we will eventually get the Berserker. We actually do have the Berserker link off anyway, because we've got it off with the Dokkan Awakened Spopavich. So we are getting attack plus 40% here, which means we're up to a 421k attack stat, 187k defense. I am gonna pop a Whis, just in case, because we may be able to get another turn out of this, like after this one. And if we can, I kind of want to see what they can do on rotation with Dabura with the added defense, or not what they can do, just essentially where the defense stat is sitting with the attack and defense plus 30% from Dabura. We're actually getting supered, which is good reason why I've popped the Whis. 3.5 million attack stat. Just remember that's attack plus 40% from Turles. 1.9 million crit. Maybe we won't get there, but it's okay. I mean, essentially we would do a little bit less damage, and we'll have a little bit more defense than what we were on before we, of course, at the start of this turn, which is, what was we on? About 200k defense, or close to 200k defense. I'll probably just be also a bit more than that, just over the 200k mark. So yeah, these two are actually pretty good. They're pretty good. They're probably a very good option to run on an extreme margin Buu Saga team. Don't know how often you're going to be doing that and how often you'll probably run them on other teams, but they're definitely another great free-to-play option. A very good free-to-play option. The amount they can build themselves up to, the 160% as well. They also lower attack and defense, which is a useful thing to have in the likes of the SBR. Unfortunately, I don't think ESPR is their best place to take them. Legendary Goku event, I said, I reckon they'll do really, really well in there. It's just when you get to the full Bash J4 stage, that type of disadvantage against full Bash J4 Goku, you're probably going to get mollywopped a little bit. But we're going to test it out. We're going to take them into some other events, see how they do. But yeah, another great free-to-play option. Another great free-to-play option. Let me know what you think of them down in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. And peace.